Yes, so the season has started pretty well, and this is a landmark result for us, I think. It's not much the result, it's more about the performance. 2-2 away to Sporting, but match facts wise, we give them a bit of a battering. Now, it has us sat in 4th position at the minute with 7 points behind Benfica with a game in hand, but we've got the big 3 teams above us. And this is how we've done it. We've gone with an attacking mentality. We've cranked it right up there to attacking. To offset that, I've dragged Capellas' register role back to a defensive midfielder, so he's got a pair in there with Cruz, working really well at the minute. Now, mentality is an interesting one. When you change mentality, it obviously changes the mentality of each of your players as well. For example, if we look at someone like the right back here, he's on inverted wing back on defend. Once we click onto that, you can see inverted wing back on defend. Now, his player instructions will tell you his mentality is balanced despite being on a defend duty. That's because of the overall team mentality. If I change the team mentality to balanced and go back to the same player instructions, you can see his mentality is now defensive. So bear that in mind when changing your team mentality. It's going to change each position's mentality as well. So yeah, the only change that I've really done from the last episode where I showed you this tactic was the Capellas role leading. He just sits a little bit deeper because we've got that attacking mentality anyway. And if you look at his defensive midfielder there on support, his personal player instructions will see he's still got a positive mentality because of the overall team mentality. Now, something rather big has just happened. We played Benfica and we went up 2-0 just before half-time. Now, Benfica did fight back into half-time. It went to 2-2 after about 55 minutes. But my boys have made a sterner stuff this season. We are a match for anyone. And in the 88th minute, we went and got it. Biggest win we've had yet over one of the biggest teams in Europe. So that tells me that not only are we competing now, but we're getting up there to their sort of level. Previously, when we played someone like Benfica, we would get battered and hardly have a shot. But now, we're actually beating these teams. To help me along my way, I've got some set opposition instructions that I use for every team we play against now. Every team. So we go to the position tab, and these are the set opposition instructions that I use for every team we play against. And they are dead simple. You go to show onto foot, and we're putting everybody on the right hand side onto their left foot, forcing them the opposite direction and tackling hard the winger on the right hand side. This is because we do have a gap down this side, so I want to force their players away from my complete wing back on the left hand side in case he's high up the pitch, and force them infield where more of my players are. So far, it's worked quite well. We've done well in the Conference League as well. We've got 2 out of 2 there, so hopefully we can get quite deep into that. Near the end of the transfer window, we made a couple more signings. You can see now we spent 2.7 million, which is quite a lot for us, but I do believe we found our keeper for the next 10 years. So this is Dylan Drovic. He's came in from Australian football, Sydney FC, 1.6 million, already valued at a stupid amount. You think he's 18, what's he going to be like in a few years? The other one we signed was Lindo Mbasso. We went back to our favourite stomping ground of South Africa. I'm going to play him in attacking midfield. He's 6'4", by the way. Attributes already sky high. Keep an eye on him. Currently, I've got this guy in goals, Velkovic. He's on loan from Benfica. But to be honest, I think I'm going to chuck my 18-year-old in, take a risk, and just get him in the team right now. And just like that, he's got a perfect face for an Australian, right? In both surprising and shocking news, I asked my board to increase the youth facilities yet again, and they've accepted again. We're just off the back of deadline day, going well in the Conference League, going well in the league. Our new boy, Mabasso, is starting to look something special. But deadline day has brought us a few problems. One of our favourites has left the club. Antonio Capellas, he's finally left us. He's gone for 10.5 million to Bournemouth, the same team that took Hugo Felix off us. At this point, it meant our finances are really good now, which allowed me a deadline day swoop for Vlad the Destroyer Saisan from Romanian football. He's an 18-year-old centre-back. Do you know what? I was going to bed him in gently, but looking at his mentals and the physicals and the fact he's 18, I think I'm going to throw him in the team straight away. 2.3 million, our biggest outlay yet. Now, do you remember the thumbnail of the last episode about chance creation? And we were on something like plus 23, I think. Well, new tactic and the way they've bet into it, even using a more defensive role in the defensive midfielder. Check this out under my head. You ready? From plus 23, we're now plus 48. More than double. More than double. We've chopped down the chance creation time from about 86 minutes to 43. We're giving a chance away slightly more, but overall, that is a massive, massive improvement. It goes to show we're going the right way with this tactic, and this attacking mentality. I've honestly shied away from attacking mentalities for a few editions of Football Manager, but right now, I urge you to give it a go because it's making a big difference in our team. Now, this tactic is available in the patrons. You can download it, tweak it to your team, but at the minute, it's working really nicely. Yes, the team are cooking now. 5 straight wins and we haven't lost in the league since the back end of November. Next up, it's a bigger test in Sporting, our big rivals for the Champions League spot. So like I said, I do this every match. Whoever we're playing against, I'll go up to opposition instructions. I'll select everyone and I'll pop in that tab there, which means my set opposition instructions are locked and loaded. We didn't just beat them, we absolutely battered them. The good form continued in the league and in Europe as well. A real standout performance against Dynamo Kyiv in the last 16. Following this destruction of Chavez, our chance creation stats now are a ridiculous plus 66. That's triple where we were last season. And our scouts continue to do us proud. The best wonder kid in the world in the year 2033 is our boy Mabasso. To be fair, he's had a cracking first season at 19 years old. 19 starts, 14 goals in all competitions. Also ranked number 20 is our keeper. I knew he was going to be a good signing. He's now valued between 27 and 40 million. And the best bit is about our keeper, no release clause. While we're talking about players, I want to shout out Amrabat. He's had a cracking season. He started 15 times, super solid. I'm going to keep getting an experienced player every season because the rest of the team is so young. He's been superb. With success comes the vultures though, and you can see Motta's wanted, Alonso's wanted, Big Dick's always wanted. Now Sabaya up front is wanted. The cracking form has meant that we sit in third place at the minute behind the big two and sandwiched just above Sporting. We've played a game more, but as it stands, we are in the Champions League. As for the Conference League, we've qualified all the way to the quarterfinals and we've got a massive test now against Roma. And Jose's still there. I'm going up against Jose. He's 70. That great win against Roma meant we made the semi-finals where we played Austrians Lask. We absolutely battered them in the first leg, but it was only 3-1. But thanks to the greatest wonder kid in the world, Mabasso, we went away to Austria and got the result we needed. We're in the Conference League final. This has been a great season. We are flying. We are such a goal threat now. So we're in the final of the Conference League. Totally unexpected. Now, look at the league table. It's super tight. There's 2 games to go and we're 2 points behind Sporting to get in the Champions League next year. It's going to be tough, but do not rule us out yet. In the first game, it took us to the 87th minute, but we got the job done. Unfortunately, at the same time, Sporting were away to Hilversente, and they won as well. Which meant we had to win and rely on favours to get the Champions League spot. At home to Vizela, we played probably our worst game of the season. We got the draw, but it wasn't good. So the league campaign finished just shy of the Champions League spots, finishing 4th, but a great season overall. Massive improvement in terms of goals scored. 70 goals scored. only conceding 38. If we can tighten up a bit next season, we should put in a decent challenge. But now it's time for the highlight of our season and probably this save, you know. It's a Conference League final and we're playing Athletic Bilbao, so really tough. What a good team they are. I haven't decided on my team yet, but as always, I'm doing the same opposition instructions, forcing them away from my left-hand side. Into the final we go. 1 minute gone, less than 50 seconds gone. Bilbao down the right-hand side. Jesus. 10 minutes gone. My boys are made of sterner stuff and the high press works. The defender panics. Ferreira pounces and Silva with a beautiful finish. 1-1. 24 minutes gone. Alonso, how do you fancy it? Oh my God. 2-1 up. Into the second half. We're doing all right. There's 60 minutes gone though. And nothing ball into the middle. Garrido gets there first. It's 2-2. It's the 88th minute. It's been back and forth. But Williams puts it in for 3-2. Absolute heartache. I am gutted for the lads. Nearly historic. But look, it was still a cracking season. And with that tactic next season, I think we're going to push and try and get into that top 3. Young players were great. Mabasso with 16 goals from 25 games. Gabriel Silva, what a first season for us. 12 goals, 13 assists. Ferreira, again, injury ravid, but still 23 goals. And Bong Musa, 22 goals. He's now wanted by so many teams, by the way. And on that theme, this summer's transfer window is going to be a bit hectic, I think, because Motta's wanted by a load of teams from the Premier League and Saudi Arabia. Alonso's wanted by loads of teams. These guys have got release clauses. It's a problem. Dick Gang's wanted by the Premier League. Maini's wanted by Leeds. Bong Musa's wanted by the world. So I've seen this coming and I've already got 4 players on the way in, just in case. And you'll notice 2 of those from South Africa. Again, it is an absolute goldmine down there. There's another lad coming in from Australian football who's going to be a midfielder, and I've got a young lad coming in who's been disregarded by PSG. They're the type of players we like, players with a point to prove. We'll get into those players next time, but we're going to work off this tactic. The big problem we've got, and it's probably a Hugo Felix situation with Big Dick, he's out of contract next season, he's worth 20 million, he's probably going to have to go if someone will come in for him because he won't sign the new contract. With finances sitting at 24 million in profit, and that beautiful stadium which now holds nearly 14,000, the board have actually upped the wage budget to 300,000 a week, and the transfer budget is now 6.6. We can maybe do a bit with that. Ooh, hang on a minute. Bournemouth have just been relegated, and they've transfer listed a load of their players, including Hugo Felix and Antonio Capellas.